So this time around we're making a large leather desk mat, 16 by 40 inches, out of this English tan harvest leather here, which is a beautiful pull-up leather that's waxed and oiled, so it leaves these beautiful light streaks when it creases. I'm going to pair it with a pretty uncommon stitching color, salmon. Now this one here is going to be pulled from about a 36 square foot hide. I'm going to take you through every step of the process. Let's get started. Now, the last time I posted a leather desk mat video, it went a little bit viral, did about 250,000 views so far, and it's blown up my channel so much faster than I could have ever imagined, so I greatly appreciate everybody who's watching and likes to comment. I love to hear people's feedback on what stitching color they would have gone with. It's my favorite question to ask, so as you watch this video, think about what stitching color you would go with. There's 15 different options on the site for you to design your own. If you want to check them out and get some inspiration, come back and comment and let me know what color you would go with. Now, for this, I'm using English Tan Harvest, which is a beautiful pull-up leather that's waxed and oiled. And like I said earlier, when those oils move around, when it creases, it leaves these nice light streaks. Super vintage, pretty rustic look with a leather that ages beautifully, but keeps its color over time. Now here, most of the project when it comes to making a leather desk mat is skiving. And that's what you see me do here with my 12mm French skiver from the Palo Santo factory. It's just something that is really just time consuming, a little tedious, and you just shave off all of the corners, or the edges rather, on the underside so that you can fold it over. Now, I do these rolled edges with tape. I love this 5/16 I think it is, or 5/8 of an inch tape. So I basically tape down those edges, preparing it for stitching. I head over to my Cobra Class 26 in a little bit to stitch it. So tape goes down after skiving, which thins out that leather so it's not a really bulky edge, and then I use this roller once it's taped down to flatten it all out. I do that to all four sides, which again, it's a little bit of a tedious process, but it really makes the product look so much better in my opinion than if it was just a plain edge that wasn't rolled. So here we are rolling it over, and as you saw earlier, I punched these corners out into a rounded shape, which then lets me get a little cut going so that when I fold it over, I can punch it over again and get a beautiful rounded corner so that on the underside it's folded and they're not overlapping, which you see here, which makes it nice and thin and flat. Definitely want the desk mat to sit flat. I don't want it to be weird where your wrist lays on the edge. From there, I mark my stitching line 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. Now, typically for most, if not all of my products, the stitching line gets marked 1/8 of an inch away, but because I'm folding a 1/2 inch of that, I want to go right in the middle at 1/4 inch to mark that stitching line to really hold the corner down itself. So, Cobra Class 26 is my sewing machine that I use for all of my leather products. It's really industrial, it's really durable, it's really thick, it really gets through the leather layers, and using that salmon stitching, in my opinion, super awesome. It's not something that I would have ever picked for myself, but now that I've seen it, I see the salmon on the English tan, I think it looks really, really awesome. It's just a little bit of contrast against the brown, but it's a complementary color enough that it looks really good. I burnish the edges after sanding them to make sure they're nice and flush, and I get a finished burnish with Tokonole and a wood slicker. I stamp that whiskey glass icon, and there we have it. Now this is the large version. This is 16 inches by 40 inches for people like me who have a little bit of a bigger desk. This one's going out to a customer, and it acts as a mouse pad. You can put a lot of your products on there, or your accessories like your notebook, your cell phone, AirPods, all that. It looks really sharp. So drop a comment, let me know what stitching color you would have gone with, and as usual, subscribe, like. It goes a long way for a small channel.